already seen it. There's not really much to commentate on. I'm just gonna be like dead silent. Yeah, I've seen it. It was 10 years ago.
The context. On May 9th, 2025, indie VTuber Takahada101 would post a thread of several posts that talk about creators distancing themselves from him over undisclosed allegations, the allegations being non-consensual bed activities. Takahada would state that, while he didn't want to escalate matters, he has compiled a dossier, or Google Doc, with the help of legal counsel, that claims to disprove the allegations with provable evidence. He also stated that he had no intentions of revealing the individual who spread the allegations, and that he will step back from content creation while he processes the situation. On August 27th, 2025, indie VTuber Adora Bunny, a few weeks after her controversy, would make a vague statement about Takahada, where she said that she distanced himself from him due to the allegations. She would
It's the fact that she got like caught being so fucking weird and then threw him under the bus before she left. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm done VTubing. But also, fuck Taka. It's like, whoa, what the fuck?
also announced her retirement from VTubing as a whole. Takahada would later post on September 7th, 2025 about trying to contact the individual through legal representatives in January of 2025, but never got any response from them, and thanks people for their support as he continues to handle the situation. Indie VTuber Alicia X Life would make a post against Takahada on September 9th, 2025, where she would claim that Takahada admitted to doing bed activities with a woman who was sedated, and had a caretaker due to her not mentally being able to care for herself. Alicia would state that she was given the okay by the individual to speak out, but would also state that she never talked to the individual directly to hear her story.
Wait, what? The victim doesn't want to be public, so I haven't gone into details about what happened. They supported me saying more in the past, but I still refused because I was worried about her stability. But I will say this, using her prior okay with me saying something, I've never spoken directly to the victim. I've only ever talked to him, then made my decision. I feel like these two statements contradict itself, does it not? That is very contradicting. She's directly contradicted herself. No, dude, no. Maybe talk as in call or in person, who knows? I never spoke directly to the victim, but I will say now using her prior okay with me saying something. I've never spoke directly to the victim. That's crazy, bro.
Which left people more
damn, dude.
More confused rather than being angry towards Takahada. Roughly 2 hours later, Takahada would release his own statement regarding the situation through an 8-page Google Doc. The relationship. Before going into details about the situation itself, Takahada would explicitly defend the individual, who would be identified as Mistress Doomed VT, or EJ, which is what I'll use for this video, by stating that while they may have been the source for the allegations and malicious rumors, he blames the people who took advantage of the dramatic nature of the situation rather than EJ herself. Takahada would discuss how he and EJ met, bonding with each other over time spent at a convention in Newcastle. The two would express their feelings to each other, and would begin an online relationship for some time, though communication would be on and off until November of 2019. The two would meet at a mutual friend's wedding, where the two spent time together that weekend. Takahada would break up with his current partner several months after the wedding to actively pursue a stronger relationship with EJ, where the two would get closer emotionally and intimately. It would get to a point where the two would pursue an actual romantic relationship through confessions, and would have this relationship for several years. The wavering signs.
You didn't watch the 6-hour video I linked? Why would— it's 6 hours! Why the fuck would I watch it? It's an actual VOD! Why would I watch that? It's 6 hours! Yo, I'm gonna smack you silly! I'm gonna actually smack you silly, bro!
With EJ, where the two would get closer emotionally and intimately. It would get to a point where the two would pursue an actual romantic relationship through confessions, and would have this relationship for several years. The wavering signs. Takahada would book a flight in April of 2024 to see EJ around the end of August, and to potentially watch the All Elite Wrestling All-In event in London, which as the name implies, was a pay-per-view wrestling event. EJ expressed excitement leading up to the event, but would mention how she might not be able to go a few days before the trip due to medical issues with a pet. She would later state that she'd be able to come, but would end up not arriving due to her dog's ear infection and concern over being away from home, and asked Takahada to just come visit her instead. Takahada would state in the document that he was told about EJ's mental health issues, but didn't have knowledge as to whether these issues were severe in nature or not, so he was worried that EJ was just making excuses about her quote-unquote bubble nerves. EJ would later agree to come meet him in London, but would end up having high anxiety over being away from home for too long. The two hung out and went to a hotel room, where she reaffirmed to Takahada that she was not in the right headspace due to the travel anxiety, but would calm down once the traveling concluded. The two would hang out in the hotel room, where EJ would later joke about taking certain pills to live, but but did not provide further information than that, and the two got more intimate as the night came. Takahada would state in the document that EJ didn't show signs of being uncomfortable with the intimacy, and consented to bed activities 3 times, with implications that everything was fine. The rapid collapse. The next day, EJ wanted to go home towards the end of the day due to her being away from home for too long, but reaffirmed Takahada that she was happy to see him. Takahada texted EJ after she left to make sure that she got home okay, and EJ would apologize for her anxiety getting the better of her during their time together. Later on, she texted Takahada saying that she'd prefer hanging out just as friends, and shared her history of abuse and trauma. Takahada stated in the document that he worried that he may have pushed EJ too far in getting her to come see him away from home. The next day, EJ sent a breakup message, to which Takahada expressed understanding and hoped that their friendship would still remain strong. The two would go to the AEW event as friends, but EJ would leave early due to her anxiety of being in a large crowd. EJ would invite him to hang out in her hometown with friends, but Takahada would express skepticism, especially since the plans would later change to them hanging out one-on-one, to which Takahada was not comfortable with doing and went home early. Takahada would state that EJ seemed supportive of this decision. However, once he got back home to Canada, he received a series of messages from EJ accusing him of sexual misconduct, claiming that during their bedtime activities, she was sedated and couldn't give consent. Takahada
Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. What the fuck? Oh.
conduct, claiming that during their bedtime activities, she was sedated and couldn't give consent. Takahada would state that he was shocked at this information, as he had no idea that the pills sedated her, given that she didn't clarify any additional information about them. Takahada would profusely apologize to her in response. His shock would only worsen when he found out that she was spreading these claims of sexual misconduct to their mutual friends and others.
Oh no! What?
Would only worsen when he found out that she was spreading these claims of sexual misconduct to their mutual friends and others, to which while others expressed support towards EJ, friends of Takahada were skeptical of EJ's claims and stuck with Takahada. The responses. The initial responses to Takahada's statement have been generally positive, with many expressing support for Takahada and wishing him the best on his legal battle and for his general well-being. Alicia's previous statement would start garnering more heavy backlash, as people would be quick to point out her allegedly cherry-picking details about the situation, with several individuals accusing her of clout chasing for the sake of extra attention.
Oh! Hey! Oh man! What an... I don't know what this word says. Cherry-picked description of the events that you could have chosen. You didn't see the tons of messages that took place between the alleged and the accused and still chose to weigh in on this. You can choose not to comment on something that you don't know. Not gonna lie, this sounds clout chasey. Damn. That woman is fucked up in the head. By the way, she lives with 2 dudes who are her caretakers, but also her online admins. I don't know what that means. I'll be so for real. I have no idea what that means. That's why I personally don't fuck with her. Oh, man.
Roughly 3 hours after Takahada released his Google Doc, EJ would put out her own statement with her caretaker Jimmy posting it on her behalf.
We are reacting. Kindly shut the fuck up.
EJ would claim that this situation is an active police investigation since August of 2024 and alleges that under the United Kingdom's Sexual Offences Amendment Act of 1992, Takahada violated UK law by publicly naming her. She also alleges that she never wanted this situation to go public, nor wanted people to know that she was a victim, and states that the people who claim to have known and spoken to her are lying. She states that she plans to post evidence when she can. This was met with generally negative responses, as while many people did agree that the case should have remained private,
Wait, what? I'm so confused.
Who claimed to have known and spoken to her public UK law by publicly naming her. She also alleges that she never wanted this situation to go public, nor wanted people to know that she was a victim.
But didn't she tell people about it though? She like told like a lot of like their mutuals? What? I feel like that contradicts herself. Yes. Yeah, that literally contradicts that statement. That literally contradicts what you're saying. I don't want people to know about it, but you actively told people her roommates have access to post stuff on her accounts. What? Why? Why? What the fuck? Wait, so she said she didn't want to go public, but told friends. Makes no sense at all.
And states that the people who claim to have known and spoken to her are lying. She states that she plans to post evidence when she can. This was met with generally negative responses, as while many people did agree that the case should have remained private, she was the one to initially tell others about her situation.
Oh, but you told a lot of people about it. Yeah, see, okay.
who in turn posted about it in public. While it's very difficult for non-legal experts, such as myself, to properly determine whether Takahada violated the Amendment Act by posting his statement, Takahada previously stated that he worked with lawyers to write the document and gave him the okay to post it. Others would call her out for not responding to Takahada's lawyers and not wanting to provide her evidence when she had the opportunity to do so, calling it as a quote,
Wait, with all due respect, Taka lives in Canada and you wouldn't even contact him or his attorneys. Why would he be subject to some random law he didn't even know existed in a country he doesn't reside in? How is it that even I knew of the allegations before Taka went public about anything and I haven't spoken to him in 5 years? Oh! Oh, fuck! What? Oh no! You spread scraps of rumors around you now think is acceptable that he not even defend himself when his social media presence and reputation is his job. You and people you fed information fucked up, not Taka. A take my word versus a doc backed by evidence. His image got damaged ever since that you spread this claim. You didn't want it public, but you didn't stop your friends from making their tweets about it. But I guess everyone doesn't have your consent now, and you're the only victim. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I will say, chat. I will say though, not to name any names, of course, but if it actually doesn't involve you, do not start defending someone until everything comes out. You know what I mean? You gotta wait. I feel like the only thing that you can say is, oh damn, that sucks. If everything is coming out slowly, the only thing you're allowed to say, oh damn, that sucks. That is literally it. Do not hop on the fucking wagon and then to be proven wrong later. That is an embarrassing walk of shame. Why can't people just mind their own business anymore? Not everything needs a comment. That's what I'm saying, dude. I just think it's crazy, bro. I think it's crazy how, and it sucks too because it's like, I get it that that's your friend, or I'm talking about a different situation that we watched. A very long VOD, not a VOD, a very long video that we watched. I get it that's your friend, and it's a W that you're a ride or die, but at the same time, wait. Just fucking wait, okay? Just take a moment and wait. You know what I mean? If you're quick to defend, get proven wrong, and then you do the same shit again, have we not to learn? You know what I mean?
Take my word post, rather provide your evidence when she
I'm low-key tired of people just like quick to like, you know, like boom. You know what I mean? Granted, I can't say anything because I replied to a David tweet and I said, oof.
The opportunity to do so, calling it as a quote, take my word post rather than a private statement. I would have been done with this video after that statement, but it turns out that the next day, EJ would post another statement about the situation without the usage of Jimmy. She would state that she cannot say or post anything about the situation until it was legally resolved, and reiterated that anybody who spoke publicly about the situation on her behalf didn't have her consent to do so. She stated that she will continue to create content as normal while she works with law enforcement and wouldn't talk about the situation from now on. As of writing, no new responses have been posted, though will 100% change as time moves forward. About the situation on her behalf didn't have her consent to do so.
So we got like a bucket full of liars, apparently. What the fuck is happening? You have one side where it's just like one person like defending himself, and you have another side that's like a group of people defending one person, and they can't even get the like, no one knows which is true or not. You know what I mean? They don't even know which one's like the truth and which one's the lie. They're just spewing everything out. What the fuck is happening? The only time that it might make sense to come immediately into defense if you have proof that that the side that you are on is the right. Yeah, that I feel like that's the only time. But if you don't know much, I feel like the only thing that you could say is, oh damn, that sucks. And then just wait for everything to come out, bro. I don't know, man. Wait, she went, yeah, I'm gonna do my thing still and then act like this never went public. Yeah, basically.
She stated that she will continue to create content as normal while she works with law enforcement and wouldn't talk about the situation.
My future posts will not speak about the situation, nor will I engage in posts about it, and I will continue to work with police and create the community I love so deeply. Damn, if you see people posting claiming to be on my behalf, no, that is not. Know that it is not. Damn, dude. This is crazy, bro.
From now on. As of writing, no new responses have been posted, though will 100% change as time moves forward.
Yikes. That's insane. Hope things go well for him. That sucks, man. That low-key sucks. That like have her like everybody like against you.